Several local food shelves, including CHUM, the Salvation Army, and others, are participating in the Summer Challenge Open Your Heart Food Drive this month. It's a particularly crucial time for food shelves, with kids home for the summer and inflation making people choose between paying for food and other household expenses. Here to talk about the local need as well as the statewide situation is Scott Van Daele, the Distributive Services Director for CHUM and its food shelf. Easy for me to say that title.
It's a fancy title for a simple sort of job of just food guy. So, yeah, no, happy to be here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Are local food shelves seeing a fairly dramatic surge in usage right now?
Yeah, I mean, from what I've seen in our reports at CHUM, everywhere we've seen anywhere from 40% increase all the way to 70% increase since the beginning of the year. So there's a whole lot of new people coming to utilize our services.
So what then is the Open Your Heart Challenge all about? What is it?
The Open Your Heart Challenge is a challenge that was created in the state of Minnesota by Hunger Solutions Minnesota, which is an organization down in the cities that advocates for hunger relief agencies like CHUM. And it is an idea of putting it out there during the summer months where donations typically are way down.
Sure.
But the need is greater than it is most times of the year, only because kids are home from school. They're not getting that nutrition they need from the school when they're at school. So food shelves normally are inundated with extra families coming in during the summer months. So Hunger Solutions in the state came together and said, let's try to put something together where across state we can raise money for food shelves and get people and get food on the shelves.
So how does the money raising portion of it work? Is it a challenge grant?
It's a proportional match. So anybody that donates money, cash to CHUM or to Salvation Army or Second Harvest or any places like that, will all get inputted into a giant pool, and Hunger Solutions will issue grants up to $4,000.
Has the pandemic at all affected people who are trying to put food on their tables?
Oh God, yes. Oh God. Every day it's a challenge for us. It's a challenge for our families. I've seen people say, we beg, borrow, and steal for anything we can get and put on our tables. So the food shelf is sort of in that same situation right now. We're down about 8,000 pounds a month in donations. So really, we're just looking for any nut and cranny that we can find to put stuff on our shelves so we can feed our neighbors in need.
Scott, you mentioned that there were a lot of first-time users, new people coming in. What's driving the influx, do you think?
Just the sheer cost of things in life these days. We see a lot of nurses, we see a lot of teachers, we see a lot of people in really well-paying jobs, which you think are well-paying jobs. But when you're paying $5, $6 a gallon of gas, and then you go to the grocery store and you see chips are $6, or I went to Ace and I spent for 5 light bulbs, it was $55, and you think to yourself, like, if I was somebody in need, how am I need light bulbs, but I also need milk and I also need butter and I also need eggs and cheese and all that stuff. How do you do it all? So that's what we're seeing. People are sort of coming to that crisis mode of, what do I get first? Food or the basic supplies and basic needs.
Are you seeing a lot of elderly people too who might be on fixed incomes?
Yep. Seniors are definitely on the increase, mainly because Social Security and a lot of public assistance programs haven't reacted in time. And they're actually getting decreased from what we hear from Hunger Solutions in a time where everybody needs more. So things are going down for most people while other things are going up.
I read where mobile food drops are made on Tuesdays and Thursdays here in Duluth.
Yep.
Can you explain that? What's that like?
CHUM does a thing every Tuesday. We go to different areas around town, mainly HRA properties, Tri-Towers, Midtown Manor, Steve O'Neill Apartments. We basically just bring food in a van. And we're there for a couple hours, and people that are living in those properties can come down and grab whatever they need and take them right back upstairs. We're trying to alleviate the burden of using transportation or using feet or whatever to come down and get food. They can literally just go downstairs and go right back up and make it quick and easy.
Has there been a big response?
Oh God, yeah. Most days we're out of food on those days. We schedule 2-hour blocks. We're out of food in about 45 minutes.
Really?
Yep.
Where do you get most of your food?
From a bunch of places. Second Harvest obviously is a big one. Grocery stores in town, the Co-op, Super One, Cub Foods, and then we have our normal donation people that just go to the store, buy some extra food when they're able to, and drop it by our door.
Is it particularly hard for you to fill the need for fresh food, for frozen food. You know, most of the time when there are food drives, people tend to bring canned goods, dried goods, things like that.
Yeah, I mean, I think for CHUM in particular right now, we're abundant in fresh food, and we're abundant in meat, and we're abundant in dairy. The stuff we're struggling to find is pantry staples. You know, peanut butter, cereal, mac and cheese. Those things we all have in our pantries don't exist. And if they do exist, they're super, super expensive. I'm just looking at normal costs and stuff, and you're looking at corn that went from $1 a can to $3 a can. So those things are just a whole lot harder to find. But produce, because it's growing season, is abundant. You can't really stop produce from coming up from the ground. So there's plenty of it to go around, and it's a good thing because meat, produce, and dairy are the three top things that people are looking for when they're coming to a food shelf.
So someone who needs food, how do they plug into the food shelf? What do they have to do?
Basically nothing. COVID has made life a whole lot easier for access. Basically, it's showing up when we're open. I would say if you're going to any food shelf, get there early. Wednesday we gave away 72 boxes in 40 minutes.
Wow.
So get there early. You don't really have to do anything but give us your name, your zip code, and how many people are in your family. That's all I ask for. We'll give you food, and you walk down the road.
Can you return week after week after week?
We allow everybody to come as often as they want, whenever they want. Yep.
Mm-hmm. You mentioned Hunger Solutions. Talk about that a little bit.
Hunger Solutions is a unique organization that isn't really known outside of the cities, but they are a statewide organization, and they advocate for all of us. They are the ones going to the legislature. They are the ones going to the governor. They're the ones going to all these different power people down in the cities that make decisions on funding. They're also the people that tally all the numbers for us, figure out where the need is, where the pockets that we're missing. Demographics. Is it the senior citizens that are in need? Is it the families with small children that are in need? They are the ones that have that key information. They also hold the contract for TFAP, which is government commodity food, that the government purchases and then distributes across the country. That is done through Hunger Solutions. So Hunger Solutions is pretty much, if you're looking at a hub and spoke, model, they are sort of the center, and then they feed all over the state to all of us and give us the information and the food that we really need to keep us going.
And
Scott,
how is an organization like CHUM and you yourself connected in with that?
We're connected. There's a membership fee. I serve on the board of Hunger Solutions. I'm one of me and there's somebody out of Bemidji that are the key voice holders on the northern side of the state. And we just, we try to give our region a voice since we're lots of times left sort of in the dust, and everything's focused in southern Minnesota.
Are you looking for still more volunteers? And if so, how does that happen?
Volunteers are easy. We always looking for volunteers and volunteer groups. We do stuff 5 days a week. CHUM's open 5 days a week, pretty much from 8 until 12:30 every day. Volunteers are welcome to swing by, knock on the door, and lend a helping hand.
Mm-hmm. Talk about the best way for people to tap into the Open Your Heart Challenge right now.
The best way is to write a check, drop off cash at your local food shelf or food bank, mail it. Either way, cash is king. We say, just because the buying power that we have far outweighs what you could go to the store and purchase on your own. It used to be for every dollar we would be able to spend $7 worth of food. Obviously, with inflation, that's dramatically decreased.
Yeah.
But I would tell you, for every dollar that we get, I can spend about $3 to $4 worth of food. So a box of macaroni and cheese that would cost you $3 would not cost me any more than $1. So the goal is to flood food banks with money. So when things are available and come onto the market and they come in pockets, we're able to grab those quickly and spend that money immediately.
It certainly sounds like hunger is a statewide issue. It isn't just up here in northern Minnesota, Twin Cities as well.
Yep.
As you look at on the people that live in the state, are there pockets, though, where hunger is more relevant than it is, say, in the range?
I would tell you the range is probably a big spot.
It is.
That they are not seeing resources that we see here, or definitely they're not seeing down in the cities. We have folks that drive all the way into town from Hibbing on a weekly basis to get food and cart it back up there. And when you think of gas prices being at what they are, you're driving an hour and 20 minutes to come get free food to drive back an hour.
But they
and 20
need this food desperately.
But they need the food desperately, and they have pockets up there. So this individual comes down and he fills those pockets where there's gaps up in hibbing.
Now, you mentioned that you're able to buy things at a lot better cost than most people.
Yep.
Is that because of the food bank system? Or?
It's a food bank system, and it's the sheer quantity that I'm buying. I can buy pallets of food rather than individual boxes.
So we have about 30 seconds left, but and I know you did go through this already, but talk about some of those key things that people can do to help you right now in terms of items that you need, in terms of funding that you need, and in terms of support.
It's all of it. It's money. Any kind of money that you can provide goes a long way for me. As far as food coming in the door, don't be ashamed if it's a box or a can or anything like that. We've gone to the point where for every jar of peanut butter that comes through the door, it goes right into a box into somebody's hand. So you're helping somebody. Don't ever be ashamed on how much you can give or when you can give. I just ask that you continue to give and continue to support what we do.
All right. Scott Daele with CHUM, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Scott. Appreciate it.